Hello, people. My name is Unity.
And welcome to the Rukus Makers Connect podcast. Okay, so today we're going to be reviewing the book Who Moved My Cheese by Spencer Johnson. This book is amazing and it's all about change. And as we know, the two things that are constant in life are time and change, right? Change is permanence. It is a paradox because how can change be permanent, right? But yes, that's true. Life is a series of changes. You should expect change. And when you know how to manage change, right, your life will be the better for it, right? So today we're going to talk about 4 characters in this book: Ham, Haw, Sniff, and Scurry. Okay, so Sniff and Scurry are the mice, while Ham and Haw are the human beings,
Little
right?
people.
Yes, if you will. So they were living in a maze, and this maze represents where you are in life, looking for what you want in life. Okay, so the place where you look for what you want in life. Cheese is what you want in life. The maze is where you look for what you want in life. Okay, where you look for the cheese. So these 4 characters, they went about the maze looking for cheese. They found the cheese in I think in section B or section C, sorry. They found the cheese in section C, right? And the cheese was big, it was delicious, it was there on a daily basis. So Ham, Haw, Sniff and Scurry, they formed a routine. Every morning they would dress up and then go to section C of the maze and have the cheese. So they got comfortable because of course they thought the cheese would always be there. One morning when Sniff and Scurry, the 2 mice, went to section C of the maze, they realized that the cheese wasn't there anymore. They didn't think about it. They did not overanalyze, right? Because they noticed a few days before that, okay, this cheese is getting smaller. So there's going to come a time when the cheese will no longer be there. So when they realized that the cheese was no longer there, they picked up their shoes and went about the maze looking for cheese. Sniff is the one who sniffs, right? He smells for cheese, right? While Scurry is the one who moves into action right away. So in life, you need to be a Sniff and a Scurry. You can't just be a Scurry because Scurry moves without thinking, just moves, right? But Sniff smells for cheese, right? In the right direction. Where is the cheese, right? So you need to be a Sniff and a Scurry. So they both went all around the cheese, looking all around the maze, looking for new cheese. Meanwhile, when Ham and Haw went to section C for their daily dose of cheese, they realized, oh my God, the cheese is no longer here. Ham threw a fit. He was upset. He was yelling, this isn't fair. Who took my cheese? I'm entitled to this cheese. Where is my cheese? While Haw was in utter disbelief. He couldn't believe that the cheese was no longer there anymore. So they kept on, they were upset, they were throwing a fit, they returned home hungry, they returned again the next day, the next, and the next, expecting that whoever took the cheese would just, have a change of heart and return the cheese to where it was, right? Meanwhile, like I said again, Sniff and Scurry, they had already found another cheese, a new cheese in, I think, section N, right? While Ham and Haw were still upset over the person who took their cheese, upset over the fact that there was no cheese anymore, that they couldn't.
They were angry at everything.
They were angry at everything, that they did not take action. Haw, on the other hand, encouraged him. How about we go about the maze looking for new cheese? Maybe there might be another cheese waiting for us. Why are we waiting here, right? But Ham was like, no, I want my cheese. I'm entitled to this cheese, and so on and so forth. So, babe, what are your thoughts on this story?
Okay, amazing. I mean, you've given a very good introduction on the book, and I think everyone should get it.
Read the book,
you read it in an hour or an hour plus.
Yeah.
I probably have seen this book a number of times before in the past. I just pass it by. It's very old. It's probably about 10 years old now. So I read it late last year, and I found it very interesting, and it's a metaphor to our lives, activities and how things evolve in our daily lives. And nothing has proven this to be true than the events of the last 2 years. Life is what happens when you make other plans.
That's correct.
The last 2 years have been very uncertain and unpredictable. Sadly, many people's source of income has been destroyed by you know, the global events that happened over the last 2 years. Change came at us while we're not prepared. I mean, there were winners and there were losers.
Yeah.
Because like Sniff and Scurry, some people decided to make the most of it.
Yes.
You know, while like Ham and all, some people were, what's going on? Yeah. Why is this happening? I can't believe this just happened. You know, in a pity party.
Yes.
Pity party,
holding
emotional,
on to, you know,
yeah,
the past.
To the past and complaining. And I mean, you don't see crying, like they say. You've got to have a clear eyes, fresh eyes to see what's next. So, I mean, the lesson is very clear. And it's funny that we're compared to, you know, lesser beings or lesser animals like mice. And we as humans are not able to live or raise set our emotions aside, and you know,
even though we're more intelligent, right?
But we get that emotional part is a two-edged sword. Yes. Your emotions can work for you or against you, you know, so you have to know when to put it aside and to respond with speed and extreme urgency when life throws stuff at you, you know. So I think the lesson is clear. Sense what is changing in your environment. You cannot continue to use yesterday's tools to do business today and expect to be in business tomorrow. You know, you must be adaptive to what's changing. People who were stuck on typewriters, when computers came, it blew them away, destroyed their industries.
There's a disruption.
There's a disruption. Well. So what it means is that change will always happen. Be open to it. Adapt quickly to it. The highest is anticipate it and make moves before it even happens. You know, that's the smartest of all.
That's the smartest way.
You know,
so initiate the change.
Initiate change. You know, there are people who react to change. There are people who, I think it was Zig Ziglar that said that. There are people who react, there are people who respond, there are people who initiate change. You know, leaders are initiators of change. They are instigators. They ask questions like, if not me, who? If not now, when?
And they find a loophole.
Yes, if not here, where? Why can't I do it? Why can't I start something? You know, and the lessons are very clear. And once you apply this attitude to life, whatever it is that you do, even if you're a parent, sometimes parents are stuck in the idea of, okay, I'm a parent of this child. But I mean, life changes and the child, you know, evolves to a particular nature. You have to be able to respond to that. That it's just like maybe a child going from a toddler to a preteen and teen and adult. You have to see what's going on and try to adapt to that.
And you know the very good points. I know that there are people who ignore change.
Yes.
Like him and Hall, right? They realized that things have changed, but they kept on wallowing in the past. Do you get? But eventually, if you read the story, you realize that Hall decided, you know what, I'm going to take a leap of faith.
Yeah.
You know, why am I still why am I still waiting in section C of the maze?
Yeah.
You know, for a cheese that might never come back. How about I decide to venture into the maze and search for new cheese?
Go out.
Even
there.
if I fail, at least I know that
I feel trying.
Yes, you feel trying. I made a move, right? So Hall eventually went into the maze and then found cheese in section N. And then he saw Sniff and Scurry. You know, they were already, you know, fast from the feelings of the cheese, right? Yeah. So that's a lesson for us. Do not ignore change. Yeah. Right? Do not ignore change.
At the very least, respond to it.
It's just like Blockbuster and Netflix.
Yeah.
Right? Netflix exists now because Blockbuster is out of the market as well. Destroyed because they saw the change and they were like, oh, these guys are small guys. They can never, you know, disrupt the industry. But eventually,
hubris playing out there.
Yes, Netflix disrupted Blockbuster, right? Because Blockbuster saw that there were some moves, but they ignored the change. So. In life, whatever it is you're doing, I mean, there are people who, I feel like for some people, their comfort zone is their enemy.
Yes.
Do you get?
Yes.
They think, their comfort zone is their enemy. They think that the enemy is, a new thing. Is comfortable. Doesn't mean it's a safe.
True.
The uncomfortable zone might be the safest zone, right?
True.
You have to keep on adapting. You have to keep on evolving, right? Don't see change as your enemy. Change is your friend, right? And comfort is your enemy, because with comfort you don't explore. You know, you're stuck in the maze, as it were. So you have to evolve. You have to think of the next best thing. You have to think of, okay, how do I do this better? Right? Because if you don't, somebody else can do it. And if somebody else does it, move. You know, move quickly. Otherwise, you'll be blown away.
That's true. Yeah, it reminds me of the book written, but I can't remember its name. The title is only the Paranoid Survive.
Yes.
You know, and that tells you that's. I mean, I saw that over the pandemic. You just have to be
paranoid.
Be paranoid.
At the edge of your seat.
You have to be at the edge of your seat. You have to keep being in that constant. It's not like you're in a zone of tension, but it turns out that zone is the growth zone.
Yes.
The opposite of the comfort zone is your growth zone.
Yes.
A growth zone is full of tension because you are thinking of the next thing. You're always on the edge. You are thinking of the next. And even before this Bible, this book came, the Bible already tells us about the four lepers. The four lepers were, they were in that zone as well. They were in that pretty much they were not so comfortable because there was famine, but they said, okay, if we stay here, we die. Okay, why don't we?
Yes, that's
die, why don't we try?
Yeah,
why don't we?
Yeah, let's die trying.
Let's die trying.
Yes.
And it turns out that when they took that step, God amplified their steps.
Yes.
So take action. Do something. Move. Put your feet out there.
Yes.
It's not, you might not figure out everything, but just try. Put your feet out there and keep learning.
That's correct. And hope is not a strategy.
True, that's true.
Get Ham and Hawk kept on hoping, okay, one day someone's going to return the cheese because it's our right, blah, blah, blah. But hope is not a strategy. Don't just hope. Do you get get a plan, and move into action like Scurry. Sniff signifies that aspect of our lives that smells for change.
Yes.
You get Scurry is that aspect of our lives that moves into action.
Sure.
But like I said, you need both sniff and scurry. You don't want to scurry into the wrong direction. Right? Yes.
Speed without direction is not a blessing.
Oh boy. While Haw signifies that person who was reluctant to change, but in the end adapted, right? Ham never adapted. He just got stuck in the rut. So that's the lesson, or those are the lessons from this book. Amazing.
You can read it in an hour, 20 minutes, or 1 hour.
30 minutes.
Yeah, I read it in one sitting. Yeah. So go get it. I believe it's the best way to start your year.
Yes.
We 2022 is gonna be great, but you don't know what's coming. What's coming will come. It's who you are that matters. What happens to everybody? The Bible talks about the storm came and beat upon the house. It's the quality of the house that matters. So what will come will come.
Yeah.
It's your mental soundness, your emotional strength that will determine how much you're able to withstand.
And how you manage
the what
change,
comes and the changes that come. Whether it's your relationship, family life, or business or career. Change is natural.
Yeah.
Change is going to come, but just be ready for it.
Yeah, it's going to define you in the next 10 years. How you manage your time and change, right?
Yes.
How you better manage it is going to be what defines in the next 10 years.
Quality of your life.
And that is something that is common amongst all humans. We have time, 24 hours, the same time, and we're all subject to change, right? So manage your change well. Manage the changes that come to your life very well, okay, and initiate them.
Yes, that's the best. That's the best and the smartest thing to do. Don't just wait to manage or respond to them. Initiate them. Do something new. Take a new course. And I in the last few months I've been looking at the events of the events of these days in terms of new technologies like Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, the metaverse, for example. You cannot afford to be oblivious of what's going on
or ignore
it or say this is
it's not gonna work.
Yes.
Look at the newspaper industry.
Yes.
Right now they do not exist. Of course they exist, but who buys newspapers these days?
Who buys them?
Newspapers are all you can find them
real time.
E-newspapers.
News
E-papers.
News is as current as
E-news as
the next minute.
Yes.
It's not what comes out once a day.
Yes.
So it tells you that it's just like when the internet also came, people were like, okay, this is not going to work, this is not going to work. But this is where we are. The internet defines how we move, how we sleep, how we wake up, how we worship, how we travel, how we love, how we communicate, how we do everything. So it tells you that these are the next frontier of technology. So keep an eye on them. I don't know so much about them, but I every news I see about it, I open it, I watch it. You do as well. So just to keep a tab on the future. You know, you might not have your foot there, but keep a hand there.
Yes.
You know, and see how it evolves.
Be open-minded.
Yes, be amongst, if not the early adopters, the fast followers.
Yeah, it's never too late.
Never too late.
Yes.
Now is a good time to start.
Yes.
You know, so that's it. 2022 is upon us. You know, let's take it on and let's be open to changes as it comes and anticipate them.
Yes.
Initiate them.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, this is our first.
Podcast.
Yeah, and we hope to do this very often.
Yeah, I mean, as it comes, as we have the energy for it.
Yes.
Okay. But thank you, though.
Thank you for joining.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Yes.
And be the best you can be.
Yes.
And much more, go make a ruckus.
And much more, move the cheese yourself.
Yeah,
okay?
move the cheese. Move the cheese.
All right, then. Take care. Bye.
Yeah.